Hey everyone, it's Lori with Behavior Education at Spirit Keeper Animal Sanctuary. Welcome to Serpente Sunday. For August 27th, 2023, I am joined with my co-host today, Ryder. He is a Super Dwarf Reticulated Python, and he's going to be featured in next month's Super Dwarf Sunday video because next month is his birthday. So let's get back to today's video, which is why snakes bite and what you can do to not get bitten. So snakes bite to acquire food or to create distance, usually between themselves and an aversive stimulus, or in other words, something they perceive as a threat or that scares them. Or sometimes they'll just bite as an instinctual defensive reaction to being startled or surprised. So let me make it really simple for you how not to get bitten by a snake. If you encounter a snake, no matter where you're at, stop, don't touch, and leave the area. If you do these three things, you will not get bitten. But now let's be a little bit more specific. How to not get bitten by your snake or a snake you know. Number one, don't be perceived as food by your snake. Don't smell or look like their food, and teach them a signal or a cue that means they are about to eat. Not getting bitten is simple. When interacting with the snake you know or with your own snake, don't be perceived as something threatening, aversive, bad, dangerous, scary, or unpleasant to them. Use gradual desensitization and passive habituation to help your snake learn that you're not a threat. Leave them alone unless they're awake, visible, comfortable, relaxed, and they are choosing to interact with you. Clearly communicate your intentions, avoid surprises, and establish predictability during your interactions with your snake. Give them agency and a choice-rich life, work with them in a choice-based way, and avoid force-based interactions unless there is an emergency. Okay, now let's hear what one of the members of my Patreon community has to say. She's been learning from me since before she was a patron. Has she been paying attention? Her name's Elizabeth. She's been a patron since February of 2021. She is a caretaker of several snakes that I know include garter snakes, a reticulated python, a rainbow boa, another type of boa, either a boa constrictor or boa imperator, and I believe a royal python. And for all I know, she has more snakes than that. But let's see what she had to say when I asked her, how would you tell people to avoid getting bitten by a snake?
How to not get bit by your snake. First of all, snakes bite for two reasons. That's it. For food and for fear. To avoid a food bite, teach them a feeding cue of some kind. Something you present with food to signal food is coming. This target isn't his, so it doesn't mean anything to him. But to the snake that it belongs to, it signals there's a meal on the way. That will eliminate any feeding strikes. And fear. Learn the subtleties of snake body language. When they display some fearful behaviors, like backing away or freezing, respect their boundaries. Back off. When they resume curious behavior like this, just a little explore, then you can offer them more freedom, introduce touch gently by redirecting them when they go somewhere you're not supposed to go. And that's about it, guys. Be nice to your snakes, don't scare them, and use a feeding cue. That's it.
Well, what do you think? I say very well done. She basically said what I told you and added some things that I'm about to tell you in few words. She got her point across, and I want to say thank you very much to Elizabeth. She actually just started her own YouTube channel, and it's just under her name, Elizabeth Terveer. And she is going to be highlighting surveillance footage of her snakes. She's got cameras on many of her snakes and just fun activities that her snakes are doing to celebrate snakes and to show them in a very positive light and in a very engaging way. They are living a very, very choice-rich life, and I hope that you enjoyed what Elizabeth had to say in my video and that you check out her channel. I want to remind you to remember LIMEA, or least intrusive, minimally aversive, which my veterinarian and her technician are demonstrating here with my Morelia Bredli telemachus. He is undergoing a veterinary exam, and he is on a special station that I built him so that he could be secure and coil and wrap around something during his exam or while being weighed. And while his heart is being listened to, he actually has a snack in his mouth, which you can't see. So he is being positively reinforced, and he is being considerately restrained and handled while he's enjoying his meal, and he feels safe and secure on this station. And his exam went very smoothly because we allowed him some agency. We allowed him to feel like he wasn't being forcibly restrained. He wasn't being too restricted. He was allowed to eat during the exam, and he was on a station where he felt safe and was comfortable. You might also see variations of LIMEA written or said as least intrusive, least aversive, least intrusive, most effective. That means, how can I possibly be the least intrusive while still being effective in my care or being effective in what needs to be done, like listening to the heart? And least restrictive, most effective. So basically ask yourself, how can I be the least intrusive? How can I invade my snake space and restrict their movements the least while still doing what I need to do? In other words, our goal should be to interact with our snakes in a way that is not aversive, not intrusive, and not restrictive, while still being effective caregivers. Exigent circumstances might arise that dictate we deviate from this. So please remember to do so on a spectrum from least aversive, least intrusive, and least restrictive to only what is absolutely necessary to affect the care that has to be done. Thank you guys so much for learning. Please remember to always be kind and love your animals. And oh, my koala friend here from Australia. Australia is also where my very favorite snake species, Morelia bredli, is from, wants to remind us to love all animals, not just our own, not just those that share our home. Until next time, remember to love your animals and all animals, and we'll see you soon.